in the literal sense of Minnesota. Next man up for the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Minnesota looking to wrap up a homestand with another win. Already up 5-0. We had a scare here. Dante DiVincenzo going for a loose ball, long rebound. Look away. You're going to see the calf ripple. We know what that means. He knows what it means. He's diagnosed with a torn right Achilles. He's one of 4 players to start all 82 games this season. Chris Finch saying, I feel completely devastated for Dante. He's the heart and soul of so many things that we do. Aaron Gordon was fighting through a calf issue. He blocks Anthony Edwards' layup. Tim Hardaway Jr. to Jamal Murray. Murray had 13 points in the first half. He finished with 30. Here's another injury scare for Minnesota. That man. And that's not the knee that's been bugging him. Forcing him to miss 11 of Minnesota's final 14 regular season games. That was the right knee. Last night, it was the left. You see the hyperextension. He would leave, helped off the floor, would not return. All right, now we go to the third quarter. Nuggets turn it over. Ayo Dosunmu, the new guy. They got him from the Bulls at the trade deadline. He's stepping up in the backcourt now. You still have Julius Randle. Fast break Duncan, 15 for Randle, but the T-Wolves only got 36 points from their starters in this game. They got 76 from the bench because Dosunmu was outstanding. Dosunmu scoring his 30th point right here, played 42 minutes off the bench, and the T-Wolves go up by 8. Dosunmu driving hard, knocks Murray over. And scores. He's working on his first 40-point game of his career. Randall said, I didn't know he was that damn good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dosunmu, 43 points. Second most off the bench in a playoff game in NBA history. Only Fred Brown in 1976 had more. Final seconds. You're not gonna score here, are you? Yeah. That was Jaden McDaniels who did it. He said, clock's still running, so I'm gonna score. Nikola Jokic had something to say. He takes exception. Now we're spilling over into the crowd. Jokic said, I don't regret it because he scored after everybody stopped playing. McDaniel said, I don't know what he said. I just seen someone who was big as hell. I'm not kidding. Minnesota goes up 3-1. Hey, yo, new guy. You're on the mic.
I was heartbroken. You know, this is for them and Dante. They mean so much to the organization. I'm sending them prayers. I hope for a speedy recovery. I hope they're fine. But this game, personally, was for them.
We knew we got more than enough to do what we needed to do. So it was just about us staying poised and going out there still sticking to the game plan and, you know, playing for each other.
So the 3 seed in the West, they are on the ropes. What about the 3 seed in the East? Jalen Brunson and the Knicks down 2-1 to these Hawks. JB, a game 3 to forget. 0 for 5 from 3, couple turnovers. There's a 3 made by Brunson. 27-20, the Knicks up after 1 second quarter. Knicks up 9. Let's make it double digits. El Gato Grande falling away and looked awkward, but that's okay. Tough bucket for Towns, who has played over 50 games in the playoffs in his career, and he's about to get his first triple-double. But before that, OG Anunoby, Knicks go up 58-44 at the break. We're in the third quarter. The lead is 12. JB, watch the right ankle collide with Josh Hart here, and this doesn't look good. He is in pain. Right ankle right there. Ooh. Oh, the tweak. It's not going to be good. He would go back to the locker room. 19 points. For Brunson, still in the same quarter. Jose Alvarado gets the steal up to Towns, who finds, who finds Anunoby streaking, and he'll get that to go. 63-53 is the lead with 7.5 to go, and Cat just distributing the pill, man, just like a good physician. Alvarado for 3. Here comes JB, pushing it 79-63, and then El Gato Grande. Your 3-point champion, 86-65 in years past. Fourth quarter now, 10 to play. Cat finding Anunoby. 20 points, 10 assists, 10 boards for Cat. The Knicks even the series. Here's Towns.
I thought we did a great job coming out with more tenacity, more desperation, I think is the proper word. And our team did a great job of just weathering the storms and being the ones to initiate physicality today. We understood that in a pivotal game like tonight, we needed to be our best. I thought we not only met the challenge, but we exceeded the expectation in the moment. And
guys, get back with you on SportsCenter. It is an elemental battle, a battle between Mother Nature. It's the Thunder, it's the Suns. Phoenix, 8 straight playoff losses. Oh, and SGA is playing within a ring of fire, dude. What can't the MVP do? Pulls up, hits the triple. Thunder have been dominating this series. SGA lays that up, Thunder up a half a dozen, and then working on the baseline jumper. Got it. SGA simply cannot miss. And as a matter of fact, he simply did not miss in the first half. 17 points, a perfect 7 of 7 from the field. The Thunder were up at the break 62-53. 7.5 to go in the fourth. SGA, how many Suns does it take to stop the MVP? Well, it's not 3. I don't need it. I don't need the foul call is what he was mouthing after the whistle. And then cookies. SGA stripping Booker. Thunder go up by 15. Teams that go up 3-0 in a series are 159-0 in the NBA playoffs in the history of the league, and that is where the Thunder find themselves, up 3-0 in the series after a 121-109 win.
All right, well, listen, Minnesota has a 3-1 series lead on Denver, and it's because of this man, Ayo Dosunmu, stepping up in a big way. Both Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo out with injury. Julius Randle, confident.
We lose 2 guys that are big pieces to our team, but, you know, we talk about it all year. You need, you know, depth in the playoffs, and we have that, obviously. So we knew we had more than enough to win.
More than enough, thanks to a trade deadline acquisition courtesy of the Bulls. Dosunmu finishing 5 of 5 from distance. He was 0 for 3 from 3 in Game 3. Bars. Here he is. Steal, lay-in. Dosunmu was just taking over. The Wolves would be up by 4 heading into the fourth quarter. He played 42 minutes. Here, after this steal and lay-in, Dosunmu has 30 points. That's his first 30-point game of the season. Still 9 minutes to go, though. T-Wolves only got 36 points from their starters. They got 76 from the bench because they got 43 from Dosunmu. That was a heat check. Mike Breen on the call.
Dosunmu puts up a 3. Bang! Ayo Dosunmu does it again! A masterpiece!
A career best 43 points. T-Wolves up 3-1. They can close Denver out tomorrow. NBA analyst Quentin Richardson is with us this morning on SportsCenter AM. Listen, big performance from Dosunmu in Game 4, Q Rich. But there are major questions now with these Timberwolves going forward because DiVincenzo tears his Achilles, according to Shams Charania, and Anthony Edwards leaves with that knee injury. What do those injuries mean now for Minnesota?
Man, those are huge moving forward. Obviously, Dante, he won't be back for the remainder of this offseason. With the hyperextended knee with Ant-Man, I literally have had that injury before. It's really going to come down to how much tolerance he can deal with as far as pain and how quick the soreness kind of subsides, because that's like a kind of bone-on-bone injury hitting each other. But big time, it's big time for them. I mean, you know, they need, I feel like they need Ant-Man to move forward. They can possibly get out of this series without him, but I mean, obviously in round 2, you're gonna need Anthony Edwards, your all-league player, to lead you there. So they're gonna need him for sure.
Game 5 scheduled Monday back in Denver, so has about a day to get that knee potentially rested up. Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, meanwhile, find themselves on the brink of elimination. They're down 3-1. Q. Jokic just 1 for 10 from the floor in the second half last night. What was the biggest reason for his struggles?
Oh man, big Frenchie, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert has had an unbelievable series, man. As in the past, he hasn't done as well. People have been critical of him. Right now, he can hold his head high and be proud. He's used his length, he's used his size, and he hasn't gone for the fakes. And I feel like in the past, Joker got him a lot off balance using pump fakes and things like that. This series, he's been able to stay in between him and the basket, and the help defense has been huge. I mean, no one can just stop Joker by himself. The team has been great, staying out on the guys where he doesn't have the passing lanes, and then he's turning the ball over because they're getting in there mucking it up and giving good digs for Rudy to do his thing. So Rudy's doing great on Joker this series.
All right, let's go to the Eastern Conference because the Knicks evened up their series with the Hawks, 2 games apiece. What was the biggest difference, Q Rich, for New York in Game 4?
I felt like it was the energy right from the start. OG Anunoby was incredible. Josh Hart, he didn't have a big scoring night, but he was every freaking way on that court. Defensively, offensively, helping get loose balls, 50-50 balls, coming up with steals, defensively doing things. And then you had Cat Anthony Towns. I continue to say that Cat is going to be one of the main guys that had to do his thing, and they were able to focus on him, make him one of the focal points, and he had a triple-double out there. So, I mean, obviously he did his thing. He played well. He shot the ball well. But I felt like OG and Josh were the catalysts with their energy.
It was the largest road playoff win for the Knicks since they went to the finals in 1999. Game 5 Tuesday night at MSG.
The Texas focused. The Spurs proving they can win without Wemby. San Antonio took Game 3 of the series against Portland on Friday without Victor Wembanyama, who was out with a concussion. Left Game 2 with the injury. Was questionable for Friday. That the Spurs ended up winning. His status, though, still in doubt for today's Game 4 as the Spurs look to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. For more on the injuries across the NBA to the Stars in these playoffs is our star, Tim Bontemps, joining the program. Tim, good morning. Great to see you. What is the latest on Victor Wembanyama's status for Game 4 today?
Well, good morning to you, too. And we'll see if Victor Wembanyama will be able to play this afternoon as he was for Friday's game against Portland. He's listed as questionable for this Game 4 against Portland with the ongoing symptoms of this concussion, whether he'll be able to work through the concussion protocol and be able to play this afternoon. Now, the stress on San Antonio is much different than it would have been if they had lost Game 3 and been down 2-1 in the series, thanks to an incredible game from Dylan Harper, who had a huge second half of power, a 15-point comeback in the third quarter. San Antonio came back and won that game. So it does give the Spurs a little bit of flexibility in terms of whether they can get Victor back on the court. However, he has been ramping up over the past several days, has been trending, it looks like, towards potentially playing today. But again, we know concussions are tricky things. You have to get through the protocol to get cleared. We'll see if he's able to, by this afternoon, to be able to play in that Game 4 against Portland, where the Spurs will try to take a commanding 3-1 lead.
Yeah, Harper showed out for the rookie off the bench, going for north of 20 to help secure that win. Meanwhile, Joel Embiid listed as doubtful for tonight's Game 4 against the Celtics. He continues to try and recover from that emergency appendectomy he underwent when the team was in Houston during the regular season. What's the latest you're hearing on Embiid's availability, Tim?
Well, as you said, he's still doubtful for tonight's game. However, we have seen plenty of times in the past that Joel Embiid has gone from doubtful to playing, so I wouldn't necessarily take that to mean he isn't going to play. But as you laid out, this is an abdominal surgery that is a difficult thing to recover from. We're only 2.5 weeks out from this surgery. The Sixers said about a couple hours before Friday night's Game 3 that while Embiid is progressing well and the doctors are happy with where his recovery is at, he was not quite ready to go and be able to play for them in that Game 3, which they wound up losing to the Celtics down the stretch on Friday night. Now, Embiid has been in a strength and conditioning program for about a week. He participated in practice on Thursday. He was part of shoot-around on Friday, so he has been participating in things. He has been ramping up. The question just will be, is he able to get himself to a point where he's able to go in this Game 4 with obviously the Sixers with their backs against the wall down 2-1 in the series and trying to even it up at home? And if he is able to play, what his availability will be, because you wouldn't think he'd be able to walk in and immediately play 35 minutes. But certainly for a team trying to go up against the 2-seeded Celtics and try to get themselves back in the series, it would be a big boost if they can get their star center back on the court tonight.
Yeah, that game later this evening, so still a couple hours before we get a definitive answer. But Tim Bontemps reading the tea leaves this morning for us on SportsCenter.
And the Celtics with NBA analyst Quentin Richardson on SportsCenter. Time for a segment that we like to call the QR code.
Come on.
All right, Q Rich, what is the code for the Sixers to even up this series?
The QR code for the Sixers is easy. You need Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and possibly a Paul George. They got to play fast. They got to get out, push the pace, play fast, lead with their defense. And these guys got to have scoring nights. 2 out of the 3 of them got to have big-time nights. I mean, PG has been, he's been pacing himself, but he needs to have a big night. But the guy, Tyrese Maxey, he's been the all-star, been the leader. He needs to have a big night, and they could definitely use anything the rookie VJ Edgecombe wants to give them energy-wise, because they got to come out and make a statement early and try to push the pace and get the Celtics on their heels.
All right, Q, what about the QR code for San Antonio? They're trying to go up 3-1, potentially without Wemby.
QR code for the Spurs is lead with their defense, guys. They have a great defensive team. Even when Wemby is out, they have length, they have deep, they have depth, they have guys that can play 3 and D, switchable guys. And they have youth, man. They got a lot of youthful athleticism and guys that can switch. You seeing it right here, the Dylan Harpers, the Steph Castles, the Carter Bryant, Champagne. All of these guys got to go out there and lead with their defense and try and smother them. And you know that one of these guards or one of these guys are going to have a big offensive night. So if they can do those things and hold down the paint, Luke Cornett has done a great job filling in for Wemby, and they have a record that's favorable when Wemby doesn't play. So they can get it done.
All right, Lakers, meanwhile, they're one win away from sweeping the Rockets. They were massive underdogs to start this series. KD, questionable for this one after missing game 3 with that ankle injury. What's the QR code for Houston to just try to get back in this series?
First of all, they got to take everything one game at a time, man. Everybody's going to announce that it's over. They're going to, nobody comes back from 3-0. You can only win one game at a time. They got to lock in and focus on that concept. And then they got to try and go out there and muck up the game, make everything extremely tough. You can't have Luke Kennard coming off the bench and getting 20-plus and having a big game. Obviously, LeBron is LeBron, but even with that, you got to push him and make him try and field his age because right now he's not looking 41 in this series. He's looking about 30 years old.
It just takes a soft mattress to make LeBron feel like he's 41 years old. And somebody's past that mile marker. All right, let's finish up with the Cavs trying to take a 3-1 series lead against Toronto. What's the QR code for Cleveland?
QR code for Cleveland is to get in there early and try and take that fan base out of it. I said this before when they went up 2-0 that it wasn't over until I saw them play in Toronto because they are a different team when that crowd gets going. They got one of the best fan bases and one of the loudest arenas in the league in the NBA. So you have to come out there early and hit first and try and get them on their heels and try and keep the crowd out of it as much as you can. Play with your defense, and obviously you got those two superstars in James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. They need to lead the way.
Tip off 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Quentin Richardson with the very latest for us, easy for me to say, on SportsCenter. Thanks, Q, Rich.
Yes, sir, fellas.
WNBA season. The